Last week's training was really great. I was in Canada on the west coast on business, and so my midweek runs were in temperatures 25 to 35 degrees Fahrenheit, colder than I'm normally used to, and it was just fantastic. It was just such a refreshing change. And like my Wednesday speed run last week was along a cliff overlooking the Salish Sea between British Columbia and the west coast of the USA. Those 3 days training went really well. Ran a little longer on Saturday with some friends than I meant to, but I was feeling good. And then after last week's really hard 20 miler, I was really dreading my long run this weekend. It was only 17 miles, but I was to run parts of it at my marathon race pace, and I was running with some friends who were doing a 12-mile run, and normally they're a bit slower than my marathon race pace, but for some reason on Sunday they were really fired up. The net result was that instead of intervals where I was hitting my goal pace, I managed to do the whole run at my goal pace, and I felt really great at the end of it. So I've got 3 good takeaways from this week's training. First one is trust the process. I really overreacted to how hard last week's 20 miler run was, and I was going on to my coach about how my legs weren't strong enough and maybe I needed to do a bunch of strength training, and our response was 20 milers are meant to be really hard, and you've got 8-9 weeks to go. You're in good shape, your heart rate's been good, you're hitting all your interval times, all your runs are going well. You're going to have some hard runs. You seem to be on track. Just stick with it and it'll come round. And so I did, and this week it went really well. So stick with the process. Second is, if you can get a change of scene, just to kind of freshen up your training, I think it's really well worthwhile trying to do that. I'm not saying I was stale because I was only like 4 weeks into my 12-week run in, but I had a change of scene imposed on me, and it was just great and totally reinvigorated me. You'd be surprised how much a small change can make in terms of freshening up your running. And the third takeaway for me this week is the real benefit of experimenting and working out what hydration and nutrition strategy works for you. I've tried tons of stuff. I've tried normal goo type gels, I've tried slow release starches, I've tried delta G ketones, I've tried gummy blocks, I've tried different ways of fueling before a race. I've looked at different ways of taking my nutrition on board during a run. I've tried different ways of carrying my fuel in my pockets, or I've worn a hydration vest, I've tried a belt, I've just stuffed bottles and water bottles in my pocket. Finally kind of worked out what fits me best, and it really made a massive difference. I've had some bad runs because of those experiments, ones that have gone wrong, but I really think it's worth it. It's worth trying different solutions, see what works best for you, and then once you get to it, stick to it. No surprises on race day. So that's my feedback from week 4. I'm already into week 5 here with my run today, and I look forward to reporting on it at the end of the week.